This week on Two Nerds a Podcast. Stallone is in prison, right? And I'm just like sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, do these guys not know who Sylvester Stallone is? I was like, does Rocky not exist in this universe? We're in a universe where Rocky does not exist, but with this film it's even worse. Because not only does Rocky not exist, the Terminator franchise does not exist, because Arnold is also in prison. And how do you not know Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger is in your fucking prison right now?
I'm gonna stick up for this one, okay? The prisoners are very aware of who Arnold Schwarzenegger is. Because when he first breaks onto the screen, all the prisoners are about to beat the shit out of Stallone. Or try to, because they're not aware of John Rambo. Okay? Yeah. They're not aware that they're about to get their fucking faces beat inside out. But Schwarzenegger knows who he is. He's like, that's fucking Sylvester goddamn Stallone. That is John Rambo. That is Rocky Balboa. All these prisoners are going to get turned inside out. And he says, stop, back off. And they turn around and they see, fuck, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. And everybody backs off.
But the prison guards, they don't know what the fuck's going on. They're like, damn, these dudes are significantly more attractive than any of the other prison extras we got for these films. I wonder what's going on with this.
Significantly more attractive.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a special presentation of
Two Nerds a Podcast. Your home for everything movies, music, video games, and everything in between. With your hosts, Bunny the Bruiser, and Dynamite Jared Latching.
How is it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Two Nerds a Podcast. We are two nerds, this is a podcast, and we're soon to be known as the two-man fucking Power Trip 2.0. I am Bunny the fucking Bruiser!
You're jacked up today. And I'm Dynamite Jared.
You're fucking right, I'm jacked up, brother. I was expecting to start this podcast off on a very sour note. I was all prepared to come in and do a fucking rant, but you know, I'm feeling pretty good right now, man. Feeling pretty good.
What are you gonna rant about? I think I want the rant.
The rant? Okay, well, let's pick up where we left off last week.
Okay.
So
shitty podcast last week.
Yes. So last week,
not as bad as the week before.
Nah, Stallone month has been off to a rough start.
Yeah.
But last week, if you recall, I was talking about how I was emotionally devastated about how there were PS5s just sitting at my fucking work, and no one was allowed to buy them. We had to wait for a drop date, and the drop date finally came. And you know what? My boss was nice. They've informed me when the drop date was going to happen, but they did not say a time. So I had researched online, like, when the best time to get them was, when the dropping was supposed to occur, and they said anywhere between 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. when the store's fucking open. So, of course, as you were, my good friend, I stayed up all fucking night on the website from like 3 a.m. until I had to leave for work, because I had to work that day. So I'm on the fucking website and fucking refreshing the thing. I'm on this fucking YouTube live stream with this guy all fucking night long trying to get this motherfucking PS5. And, of course, after sitting up all fucking night long and just, you know, spamming the website, fucking trying to put the fucking thing in my cart, it finally drops at 7:45 in the fucking morning when I'm on my way to work. And it said, like, 11 in stock. And then I saw the number going down, down, down. And it kept trying to process my fucking card like it did with yours, and it kept canceling the shit out, and it locked me out. The fucking scalp.
Was it saying that you had an invalid card?
It wasn't saying I had an invalid card. It was saying, it straight up said, items in your cart are no longer available, is what it said.
Oh, and mine was literally telling me that the fucking, like, the CVS or whatever, the VCS or CSS, the code on the back of your fucking card.
Yeah, they were saying it was wrong.
that was saying it was wrong, and I'm like literally looking at the card, like.
You're right. And I was fucking pissed because, like, I was like, it's not like they said this was a drop time. I was like, how does everyone know that it fucking drops at this time, and why am I not getting fucking priority? I looked it up, and I guess that, like, if you're checking out through, like, PayPal or something, it reroutes you to another site, so fucking, the website already thinks you paid for it. So for some reason, like, if you're actually paying on the website, it doesn't take it. So I don't fucking know. But, and then the second thing that happened, I don't even know if I told you about this, was we had received 2 shipments of the PS5, one of which was scheduled for a drop that had already happened. So when this scheduled drop happened, it only took half the PS5s out of the system. So there's still 5 sitting there. So in my mind, those should have been fair game to just, like, sell. But they're stuck in fucking purgatory. They're just stuck at our store. We can't sell them. We can't do anything with them because we received the shipment after they were supposed to fucking drop.
And they're still stuck in purgatory.
Oh, yeah, they're still there. Yeah, they've been there. Yeah, they've been there for about 3 weeks now.
You just can't even, like, put them on the fucking shelf or anything?
No, we can't do anything. We have to wait.
That's stupid. That's just
it's
so
really dumb. But the light at the end of the tunnel was I have successfully acquired the PS5. It is not here yet. But our shared plug, was able to come through again. This was the 8th PS5 he's been able to acquire. So it should be getting here in a couple days because he got it through PS5 Direct. Which, I guess, that's probably the best way to get one if people are out there trying to get one. Because what they do is they set you into, like, a virtual... Because I was in the queue as well. Because I didn't know if he was going to get in before I got in. But the way that they fucking do it is they have a timer that's, like, on the screen. And they tell everyone, like, hey, this is when they're going to go on fucking sale or whatever. So once it hits that time, I think it was like 4:30 or whatever, was when they finally went on sale. Once it hit 4:30, it puts everyone into this virtual line. And it's like randomly selected. So like if you log on there every fucking day, like some days it'll be like, oh, it's an hour wait, it's a 20-minute wait. It could be anything like that. When I got on, it was a 25-minute wait. When my friend who was in there, he had like an 8-minute fucking wait. So I guess he's done it a few times, and he's just gotten lucky those couple times. And since I had reached out to him, he was like, yo, if I get one, is this the one you want or whatever? I was like, yeah, if you get one, I'll Venmo you right now. So he got it, and we're just waiting for it to come in the mail. And I'm bringing him over some vegan cookies and shit, because he fucking came through for both of us, so.
Yeah, I gotta get him something, too. So, I don't know if he got lucky. That 8 PS5s, I think that he's got some sort of skill.
Well, because he's checking it every fucking day. So, like, if you've been checking it every day since November, and you're getting 8, I mean, that's still, like, kind of like luck, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Because, like, you'd think if he had, like, some insider knowledge, he would have gotten, like, 1 billion by now.
Outside of scalpers, I think he holds the world record for PS5s owned.
I mean, possibly. I mean, I don't know.
He definitely does. Without a doubt. And I need to ask him to pick up one for my little brother.
Right.
Desperately want. Even though I just went over there the other day for his birthday, and he's got the new gaming rig at his house, the desktop PC. It's got all the lights, the video, the video card in it is bigger than my laptop. Like, it's got the glass side panel.
So you can see everything on the inside.
You can see all the stuff inside. And then you look in and, I'm like, okay, this is a computer. You know what I mean? It's got the liquid cooling, man. You know about liquid cooling?
I've never, like, seen it myself, but, like, I've known a few people that try to do that kind of stuff.
They got the hoses and everything, and then
right,
all this fancy stuff. And then the video card in there, you just kind of see it. You're like, man, there's some computer parts in here.
Yeah.
And my brother, and I'm going to school for IT. I'm like, oh, yes. Here's some computer devices within this piece of hardware here, this tower.
Yes.
And so my brother is like, "Oh, you see that thing there? There's this thing, you know what I mean?" I thought it was just like a divider of stuff, and it was like bigger than my laptop. It was like a cereal box, like this, like in the side there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I was like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" And he's like, "Oh, that's the video card." What? That's not a card at all. That's like an entire another computer that you've just shoved into your computer. It's like your computer tower ate another PC. So I don't know why he's, still going for the PS5. He's got the goddamn. I mean, I guess for Sony exclusives.
Yeah, man. You gotta play Spider-Man and Demon Souls and all this shit.
I don't even think that he cares about Spider-Man and Demon Souls.
I mean,
That's why.
What kind of games does he play? Like, is he playing like Call of Duty and shit, or like what's it?
He's been known to play some Call of Duty and some SOCOM and Rainbow Six Siege,
right,
and stuff like that. But he also plays Rocket League with me, and I think that the games that he likes the most are what you're getting Final Fantasy VII, right? Didn't you already pick it up?
I got Final Fantasy VII, and then I got the gift card for the year subscription to PlayStation Plus or whatever.
So you'll be getting Persona 5 and
yeah. So I'm gonna work my way through those games before I get any of the actual PS5 stuff.
It's 20 fucking games, so.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna play all of them, but
I mean, you might maybe not like the Call of Duties and stuff like that, but I mean, it's got like the goddamn Resident Evil 7 is in there. I need to look at the list again, but God of War, I would say is worth playing probably. Yeah. I think that there's like the Uncharted collection in there where it's like 4 Uncharted games, either that or it's like the newest Uncharted game.
Yeah.
So I mean, just like just fun games, and then Persona 5 and goddamn. What's the other one that I got? Oh, Last Guardian. I always forget it. I'm just excited to play Persona 5.
Did you play Spider-Man on PS4?
No. Well, no.
Okay. Because I just didn't know, because like the new Spider-Man or whatever, they have like 2 versions of the game. Like they have the one that's like $10 more where it comes with both games. And I just didn't know if it was worth getting it for. I mean, if $10 for a fucking game, but.
Is it an entire other game?
Yeah, it's the Spider-Man for PS4 and then the Spider-Man for PS5. It's like the Ultimate Edition.
Oh, it's probably worth it then.
Yeah.
For $10 for a whole game.
Yeah, so. I don't know, that might be the next one that I get. Either that or Demon Souls, and Resident Evil is a for sure one when it comes out, so.
What is the first, not the first, but there is, there's going to be PS5 exclusives aside from Spider-Man and Dark Souls or, whatever. What is going to be, like, the first big PS5 exclusive that's actually going to, like, interest, like, say, me?
I don't know. Because I haven't really looked into what's coming out soon. I don't know. When are they making the next Final Fantasy? Is probably not going to be for a while when they do the next part of Part 7.
But it's not even going to be exclusive, though.
I think it's exclusive for the first, like, year or two.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that how they did Final Fantasy 7?
Yeah. Yeah, it's only on PlayStation.
What? I thought it was dropping on. Hold on now.
So so it's exclusive to PlayStation for the first year. So I think that like in April or May this upcoming year, it's going to drop on Switch and Xbox.
Which everything's about money now, so that's why exclusives don't really exist. But me being like the goddamn Sony loyalist and being the guy that was like playing Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think that it should ever come to goddamn Xbox. And I mean, fuck them. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me to see Final Fantasy, and I mean it's been happening for a while. Like Final Fantasy 15 came out on everything, and when that happened, I was like, God, this sucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
that was...
they started on Nintendo, and then they didn't go to PlayStation until 7 in the U.S.
Right, the first one that really needed that hardware.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, graphically, you probably could have ended up... You could have gotten Final Fantasy VII on N64.
You would have needed multiple cartridges, but yes.
You would have needed multiple
Yes.
cartridges, which is not going to happen. I don't think Nintendo ever went that route on the 64. If it couldn't fit on the damn cartridge, then it was just no bueno.
Or the expansion pack, yeah, you couldn't fucking do it, yeah.
Did the expansion pack... That didn't, like, enhance, like, the amount of storage that you could put on a cartridge, though.
I'm not really sure what it was for. Or was it
was
for
just
saving?
able to... I'm pretty sure, like, the expansion pack... I could be wrong on this. You know, our listener can let us know in the comments below if they know. But the damn... As far as, like, if I had to guess, okay, is that certain games... Because only 2 games utilized the expansion pack. Was Majora's Mask and Perfect Dark.
Wait, Donkey Kong 64, it came included with the game because the game couldn't run without the expansion pack.
Right. There were certain games that couldn't run without it. So, yeah, Donkey Kong 64, I must have forgot about that. And maybe even Banjo-Tooie. But, so I'm just assuming that just kind of, like, boosts the N64's actual hardware to be able to perform to, like, the more demanding settings, like graphical settings and just, like, things that are going on are more demanding on a system, on, like, Majora's Mask or Perfect Dark or anything like that. Kind of like how, you know, you can't run a fucking Cyberpunk on a PS4 really right now, but on a powerful enough PC, you can run it just fine.
Right, how it doesn't work on fucking anything unless you have George's setup.
Yeah, well, according to George, he still can't run some of the best games on max settings. So we'll have to see. He should download Cyberpunk to be like the litmus test on his PC. I don't see why it wouldn't. The fucking graphics card is bigger than my PS5.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'll keep on the lookout. I mean, if they finally let us sell the ones we have, or if I get knowledge of another drop, I'll message George and see what the dealio is. But
here's the thing that drives me up a wall about George, about his new PC, okay?
Okay.
This drives me absolutely insane. He's got the nicest fucking graphics card. He's got the tower with the lights and everything. He's got the freaking 16 gigs of RAM and, you know, the fucking 2 terabyte solid state drive. He's got all the stuff you need. Fast performance, games, graphics, everything. He doesn't have a 4K monitor.
I thought you were about to say he doesn't even fucking play it. That's what you were about to say.
No, that's like his preferred method of playing games now. He's like a legit PC gamer now. But he doesn't.
What is the point then? What is the point then?
I was just yelling at him the whole time. I'm like, George, why do you have this fucking graphics card? You don't even have a 4K monitor. And he's like, oh man, because he wanted the big curved monitor, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And the 4K costs, I guess, like $3,000 or something. But I'm like, dude, if you're gonna go in, you got to go in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you can't do all that and fucking play on a 1080p fucking 24-inch.
Well,
screen.
no, hold on now. It's like 1040 or something, like 1240 or whatever.
Sorry.
It's a little bit higher than the goddamn 1080. But it's still not 4K. And all the games that are coming out now that are going to demand all this on your gigantic graphics card, they're going to demand it to be in 4K. You know what I mean? Like, so you might as well run all of those new games on like the lowest setting, I guess, because it won't really matter.
Shit, I wish our TV CRs had fucking HDMI's. Plug our PS5s into that, just see what it looks like.
Oh my god.
Might get a fucking adapter for the fucking TV CR just to experiment.
That TV CR in the garage is still kind of running.
Yeah.
Like some tapes it doesn't want to deal with, and then other ones it's like, yeah, sure, I'll watch this.
as long as the fucking the Super Bowl tape with the fucking Dr. Oz menopause episode, as long as that still works in there, it's all set.
We got I'm doing some big renovations to the studio out there. I'm waiting for it to get warmer to really clean it out, but I think this summer is going to be kind of a cool place to hang out.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I was thinking the other day if we could do a just a one-off Lost on VHS episode, but I don't know what happened in the graveyard. I lost the fucking map. I don't know how to get there.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. We'd have to find the map, and then even then, it's still a challenge to get back into it.
Yeah.
The map wasn't particularly easy to read. It was like half burnt and whatever. And I've checked all the doors of my house and all the tape. I pulled all the tapes, and it's just not.
Can't find it.
It's not really working out for me, man. So
Yeah.
tape graveyard, I don't know. Maybe one day.
Yeah. So what else has been going on, Kat? I mean, I told you about my interesting week. We had an interesting few days. I just got back from fucking Barrio. Got that Carolina Reaper in me, so I'm feeling great right now.
I just ate a ghost pepper beef stick yesterday, and it wasn't very brutal, but I do think that it made my stomach upset.
Right.
Because last night when I was watching our film for the week, I was just gassy. I was just nonstop farting. It was just like it was just coming out in like a steady stream.
My mother-in-law for Valentine's Day, she got me this habanero dark chocolate. It's not very brutal, but I was gonna say it just tastes like ass.
That sounds horrible.
But yeah, so I don't know. You had a good week other than the fucking sharding.
There wasn't any actually sharding. It was just some good healthy farts coming out. You know what I mean? Like a good healthy fart where it's not like wet or anything. It just comes. It's
just like a normal fart.
It just comes out just like that. A lot of those. Now I've got gas again.
Just thinking about it, it's got something brewing in there.
Yeah, still in college. I haven't dropped out yet. So, this week in college is bullshit. I've received an assignment, buddy.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, they give homework in these college things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now I'm sure you've had an assignment like this, and I'm sure Mazer Laser has had assignments like this, and that Beck Nasty is probably still dealing with assignments like this, where you have to read an article, okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It just says, just read this article. Now write an essay about it.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you even do that? Isn't all the information that you would potentially put in an essay already in the article? Is this not just like an exercise in redundancy?
Yes, just regurgitating the facts and then submitting it, yeah. Like, how long does that? How long is the article and how long does the essay have to be?
Well, I have several articles that I can choose from in this, which is
But you're only supposed to do it on one. Like, you're not summarizing.
You're supposed to read one article. They gave me a bunch of articles. I have to read one article and then write a one-page essay on it. So one page isn't that brutal. But I'm a kind of guy that I absolutely hate basically what you said, just rewording pretty much the entire article.
Right.
And putting it down. And I hate that kind of stuff. I can write an essay and actually kind of enjoy myself when it's something
is worth talking about, or you're passionate about it, or anything.
About, your damn, your favorite film or something like that. I mean, that's just a shitty example.
Right, yeah, I understand.
Where it's just I didn't write an essay about it, but it's something like you have these discussion topics now, in my classes or whatever, because everything's online. So they basically have like a message board.
So you have to write your discussion, and then you have to like respond to like 2 of your
Yeah, and
classmates.
then you have to respond
Yes,
to
so that's every college fucking class ever.
Well, when I first went to college, that wasn't a thing, or if it was, that was one of the things that I didn't do that made me fail. But I don't think that it was a thing back then, right?
It was when I was in school. I mean, you started a couple years before I did, but my freshman year, like, they had us do that shit. It was always put something in the fucking discussion board, and then 2 people have to respond. And then it's literally just going like, "Oh yes, I agree with you," and just like shit like that, like the fucking responses.
I hate those. Listen, one of my favorite things to do now is just to piss myself off by going through everyone else's threads and like seeing like basically it makes me feel better about myself since 90% of my class can't exercise, and I'm not even a grammar genius myself, right? Like, I kind of look at things when I'm writing and I'm like, man, is that right? I don't know. I'm just going to go with it. You know what I mean? Like, where should I put the apostrophe or the comma or whichever one? You know what I mean? But then you go to someone else's and then they got like the run-on sentences and like the bad spelling and bad. And then like the way that they type out their discussions, it's like a list. Oh, I hate it. Where, you know, they'll deliver the criteria for the discussion in list form. Like, say, you know, what movie would you put on this stage? You know, and so then it was like 1, you know, like what movie is it? 2, like describe how you would make use of the stage for this movie. And 3, like, you know, who would you cast or whatever. And so then it just becomes so obvious then when it's like, okay, someone like some people do like the 1, 2, 3, which you're not supposed to do because you're supposed to answer in discussion form in full sentences, right? So that's irritating. But then the other ones that are just kind of funny and irritating is when you can just see it's like, okay, their first sentence is the first bullet point. Their second sentence is the second bullet point. Right. And their third sentence is the third bullet point. And they haven't bothered to make it flow smoothly at all. Where it's just like, my movie is Halloween. I think that this is good because this. And I would cast fucking Sylvester Stallone for it. You know what I mean? That would be a terrible casting choice, but...
Right.
And then the thing that I love, there's this one dude in my class, right?
Yeah.
He's a weeb. I thought that maybe I would be able to bounce off his discussions for the entire semester, but I can't do it. Okay. when he first did his introduction discussion, and he was like, "Oh, I like anime," and stuff like that, and I responded. I was like, "Okay, here we go." I was like, "Hey, man, like."
What's up?
I too am an anime enthusiast, and what are some of your favorite anime that you like to watch? You know, mine are, Rurouni Kenshin, Dragon Ball, all the fucking...
He probably thinks you're a weeb. He's probably like, fucking, I'm in the Tokyo Ghoul and JoJo and shit, and he's like, you're a fucking normie.
I put JoJo in my damn thing, because I love JoJo.
He thinks you're a normie, that's the problem.
No, listen... Okay, this is just a kid fresh out of high school. He doesn't know what the fuck Rurouni Kenshin is, okay? And I led with Rurouni Kenshin.
I don't know, I bet he's got to be into, like, Tokyo Ghoul and stuff.
Maybe he is, but, okay, so I listed, examples, man. Like, I bet you he doesn't even know what Yu Yu Hakusho is.
Did he ice you? Is that what's going on?
No, he didn't ice me. He said, I mostly watch fantasy adventure anime. What? Dude, give me fucking... I just gave you an example. I asked you, what are some of your favorite anime to watch? Not what genre you like to watch.
Right, yeah. Fantasy adventure, so 90% of the anime you listed.
Am I allowed to roast, I mean, I'm not giving names or anything, and maybe he's a fan of the show. As a matter of fact, based on some of his threads, I'm sure he's a fan of the show. So, now that I know that you're listening, brother, I'm calling you out right now, okay? Because not only that, that was like the first minor clue that maybe this guy doesn't, you know, like, I'm not saying I gave him instructions, but like read instructions very well, right? Because one of our discussions was give an example of like a show, a play, a movie, or something, a production.
Yeah.
Okay, give an example of a show that you like that that uses realism. That is a show that
Based
would be
in reality, yeah.
based in reality, realism. And then there was one for non-realism. So 2 discussions this week. Okay, realism and non-realism. For realism, I used American Graffiti. And I fucking went down like this takes place in a real town, and you know it's based in like a real time period, the 1960s. This is what kids were doing back then. They're just driving around being idiots. There's nothing fantastic that happens. The whole movie is literally just these kids last night in their hometown before they go off to college. That's the movie. Realistic as fuck, except for maybe like a couple things here and there where like the dude has like a street race and the one guy literally goes off the road and his car explodes.
Right.
But other than that, American Graffiti, realism. I thought about doing Dazed and Confused, but I didn't want to do a fucking movie where they were just smoking pot the entire time.
Right.
So I used American Graffiti. This guy said, my example for realism is Steven Universe. And
oh man,
because Steven Universe, he has real problems and you know real troubles that he goes through in his life, and there's really dramatic things, and you know like even though there's superheroes in it, you know the themes are you know things that we deal with in real life, and I was just like, dude. Did you not read the chapter? Because I don't I don't even need to read the fucking chapter to know. Okay, American Graffiti's realism. Fucking Dazed and Confused realism. Everybody Wants Some realism. Psycho, even fucking realism.
Right? Yeah, there's plenty to pick from. Yeah.
Like, I knew all this before I fucking even went into the thing. I know what realism is and what non-realism is. Okay, Godfather realism. You know what I mean? Like, but like, not only did and he even claimed in his introduction thing, like, oh, I did 4 years of theater in high school and stuff like that. Like, you did 4 years of theater in high school, but you don't know anything about dramatic productions. Like, anything at all. Like, you don't know the first fucking thing. We're on chapter fucking 1, and you don't know what fucking realism is and non-realism.
Is this your theater class? What class is this? Is this your theater class?
Yeah, the theater experience. Well, that's the name of my book, is the theater experience. Introduction to theater or something. It's where's my blackboard? The Art of the Theater.
Okay.
That's the name of my class. It's very important that I be as specific as possible when talking about my class.
Yeah.
His non-realism example was the regular show.
So both cartoons on Cartoon Network, neither of which take place in any sense of reality.
Well, at least not Adventure Time, but at least he got that right. Regular show is an example of non-realism. I don't see why he couldn't just put Steven Universe there if he needed to fucking use Steven Universe. I would have even went the extra mile. If he was like, dude, oh my god, these are my 2 favorite shows of all time. I need to use Steven Universe and the regular show. I can't fucking... like.
I can't go on without it, yeah.
If I can't do this discussion without using both, then my fucking OCD, my brain is going to explode. Brother... I don't think the professor would care at all if you did your non-realism thing and we're like, I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to talk about Adventure Time and Steven Universe. Bam! Not Adventure Time. Fucking, it's all the same.
Regular show, yeah.
The regular show, Adventure Time, Steven Universe. It's all shitty fucking 2010s Cartoon Network. So...
But yeah, it doesn't seem like he is reading or understanding the questions correctly, or he just does not give a shit. You got to start roasting people in these discussion posts. I did that a couple times. I started, so
I want to so bad. I like every time I see people, I'm just like, I want to fucking go off. Okay?
This was my freshman year of college, and someone had the worst take of all time. It was like the discussion post was similar to yours. It was like about films and stuff. It was like, oh, what's your favorite film? Why do you like it? And what like underlying messages do you think that like the directors and the storytellers were like trying to say like in the story, right? This guy fucking said, my favorite film of all time is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I was like, okay, cool. I'm like reading his thing, and then he fucking says at the end, I don't think there are any underlying messages that the author or director was trying to convey. This film is purely for entertainment only. No messages or whatever. I fucking went off in the comments on this thing. I was like,
Candela, Willy Wonka's #1 fucking.
Well, not even that. It's just like that film in the book. It's like the #1 thing of don't be a fucking shitty parent. Like, you know what I mean? Like all those kids are fucking horrible. And the whole thing is like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, his take was just like a horrible take.
Is it even possible to do a production with no underlying themes at all?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that there is.
You did film, you took all the classes, and I'm sure you probably did some drama stuff and everything like that. Is it possible to write a story or present a film, a show, a goddamn play, any sort of dramatic presentation of a story with no underlying themes whatsoever?
I don't know if it doesn't I don't think that everything has to have like a super deep like underlying theme. I mean, like you have like the fucking.
No, I'm not saying it has to be deep. It doesn't have to be deep. But I'm just commenting on the possibility of it even being possible for it not to have any underlying themes whatsoever.
See, I don't even think, because like even with like the fucking popcorn movies, like the fucking blockbusters, right? Like yeah, they're for entertainment, there's whatever, but at least a lot of them they try to have like some substance to it. You know what I mean? Like even fucking like Independence Day, like Godzilla, like fucking movies like that, like they try to have like something in them.
I think that no matter what, right? Because I'm not even saying they even try. You know what I mean? I think nowadays they do try, but like I don't even think you necessarily need to try. If you're an artist, okay, which I mean, whether they consider themselves so or not, or if they are or not. If you make movies, if you write books, if you direct plays, if you do anything, you're an artist. You've created something. You're putting it out there for people to see. You're an artist, okay? And as an artist, when you do something, whether it's intentionally or even subconsciously, it's always conveying something. Is it always the fucking meaning of life? No. But you know what I mean? But it's always something is being conveyed there. There's a theme there, no matter what.
I agree. Let's sort of transition into our main topic for today. What are some of the underlying themes in Escape Plan, brother? Since you're such a very knowledgeable on the subject.
Corruption. That was one of them. Corruption. Perhaps like social commentary on prison systems and like the treatment of prisoners, perhaps in there. Just things that, like, not saying yes or no, this is what the director was going for or anything like that, but it's a potential theme that he could have been trying to convey. And even if he wasn't trying to convey it, he does convey it. It is a theme in the movie of like bad treatment of prisoners throughout the movie. Like everybody gets treated like shit in this movie.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. What did you think of the film, man? I thought that it was good. It was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's
As far as recent Arnold and Stallone movies, this is probably one of the better ones, or the best one that I've seen out of recent ones, besides like Expendables 2, maybe.
yeah. Well, and you also haven't seen that other one that Arnold did, The Last Stand.
Yeah.
And really, I was actually looking at reviews for Terminator Dark Fate last night, and it has 70% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, does it
I'm
really?
assuming that it's probably actually kind of good if you can just ignore that it shouldn't fucking exist at all. Kind of like Terminator 3. It's probably up there on par with like Terminator 3.
Right.
Which
But
may
yeah,
sound blasphemous for some people to say, but it's not blasphemous, okay? Saying Terminator 3 is good is borderline blasphemous because
it's got some good sequences. It's got the
it's
truck
good.
scene.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on Terminator 3. All I'm saying is that it's very core. It was a cash grab and it shouldn't fucking exist.
Right, it shouldn't have been a franchise. We've talked about this many times off of the show, but they shouldn't have tried to make Terminator a franchise.
Every Terminator movie made after Terminator 2 was not made out of a genuine like interest in being like, man, this is a story. Like, I love this story. I mean, I'm sure the directors and script writers and stuff probably love Terminator and everything, but they're not like, man, this story has so much more that we can add to it. We can
the only one, because I haven't seen any of the, I've seen 1, 2, and 3. That's it. But judging them by like their plot and what I've heard about them, the only one that has like a purpose of existing is Salvation, because it takes place in a different like time where it would even make sense for it to exist. Because at the end of Terminator 2,
it's kind of like a what if, like,
right?
But it doesn't. But saying that, okay, saying that Terminator Salvation actually would tie in to Terminator 3, because in Terminator 3, Judgment Day actually happens.
Right.
At the very end of the movie, which would open the possibility for Terminator Salvation. But you could still watch Terminator Salvation having just watched Terminator 2 and just kind of view it as like, okay, they actually stopped Judgment Day, but this is kind of like the reality that freaking John Connor would have went through had they not stopped Judgment Day. This is the timeline that Kyle Reese came from.
Yeah.
Since time isn't linear and all this shit and all the fucking Dragon Ball Z time fucking bullshit that's going on. It's like when Future Trunks goes back to the future after
but his time period
Cell,
is still fucked up.
Killing Cell and goddamn in the Z timeline, but going back to his future timeline and
Nothing
killing
changed.
Cell again because he's still there.
Yeah.
So, what do they call that? Is it called like a ripple when they do that? When you go back into time, it creates ripples or something like that?
Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know.
Whatever. Off that tangent, yeah, I liked Escape Plan. I think that it should have been... Why am I on a... Holy shit. I just noticed that I've been looking at not the Wikipedia page for Escape Plan, but the Wikipedia page for Escape Room, the 2019
Oh, great.
psychological horror film.
Great.
Let me...
Escape Plan,
Rectus-
the illustrious film of today with Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Had to get some Arnie back in there.
So that's the thing about this that is so disappointing to me. Is that this is it. This is the first film in history, and I think to this date, the only one still, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone sharing fucking co-leads.
Right.
And
It's still Stallone's film, but Arnold is like right there underneath it.
Right. And I mean, on the promotion and stuff, they have equal billing. Stallone takes the majority of the film, I'm assuming that this has to do with some sort of scheduling conflicts that they had, because when it was all said and done, at the end of the day, when the movie was over and I enjoyed the film and all that, but it also kind of left me like, goddamn, like, really Arnold didn't have much to do in this movie, and they really just kind of like, he was a consistent presence throughout, but they didn't really flesh him out. You know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah, I understand.
they didn't really give him very many story arcs to, like, fucking deal with within the film. And that was disappointing for me. Stallone was doing, like, everything.
Yeah.
Like, Arnold would do, like, the small, like, oh, I need a favor. Okay, well, I'm going to punch you in the fucking stomach so we can both go to solitary.
Well, he stabs him at one point. He stabs him. He fucking hits him in the face.
That's like all he's good for in the movie, and that's disappointing to me.
Yeah, they could have done a little more with Arnold. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Like,
It's hard.
Could he not have like, say Stallone comes up with the plan, right? That you do the same thing, okay? But like, Stallone comes up with that one plan when they're in the solitary or whatever, okay? And he's like, you're gonna concentrate heat on the fucking bolts, the nuts and everything, whatever. They're going to pop right out. And then you're going to pull the floorboard off and you're going to see where the fuck we are, okay? Could not he have just explained that to Arnold? Just to give Arnold something to fucking do in this movie? Like, okay, I've done this a million times. I'm going to cause a distraction for you, and you're going to fucking go down and you're going to go through and do this whole
yeah, to have
fucking
Arnold
thing.
have some sort of scene by himself actually doing something, because a lot of it is like when Arnold's on screen and like he has something to do, Stallone's right there. Like Arnold doesn't have any moments like by himself where he's
Right.
like really contributing to what's going on. It's like I feel like I don't have as much to say about this one because
I only wrote 1 page of notes. Every other movie we've watched, I've got like 3 pages of notes for everything. This one I wrote 1 page of notes.
It's very, like, by the numbers, and, like, there's not as much to say. Like, I liked the design of the prison. I don't know, it was cool with, like, the glass. It was very, like, future. You didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's very similar to, like, the space prison that was in that. That was cool.
Kind of a funny tie in the Escape Plan film series. Guardian of the Galaxy's Dave Bautista.
Yes, is in the
co-star.
sequels.
Yeah. Apparently, Escape Plan 2 is like god awful garbage. Like one of the worst things
That's
ever.
the one they shot in Ohio. That's the one where I had a couple
Oh.
friends that worked on it, and they said Stallone was very aware of the fact that he is Sylvester Stallone. He's not going to talk to anyone. But they said Batista's hell of a guy.
I always hear that Batista is just like the nicest fucking dude ever.
Emily's grandpa's met him before.
I just always hear that he's super fucking nice and that he has the biggest cock on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's but no, like radio, like I listened to the Abroad in Japan podcast and the Wrestle Me podcast. They both feature a British radio DJ named Pete Donaldson, who's interviewed Batista before. And he's just he even like went out of his way on the show to say like, dude, super cool fucking dude, like,
Yeah.
super chill. Like, some celebrities you interview fucking suck dick. They come in, they're assholes the whole time, but he came in, and he's fucking cool the whole time.
Yeah.
The only time I've seen Batista be a dick is when he's talking to Donald Trump.
Yeah. There's always that. I felt my mind kind of wandering a little bit in this film. More so than any other. Because every once in a while I'm like watching a movie and like just the premise alone, like Stallone is in prison, right? And I'm just like sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, do these guys not know who Sylvester Stallone is? I was like, does Rocky not exist in this universe? We're in a universe where Rocky does not exist, but with this film, it's even worse. Because not only does Rocky not exist, the Terminator franchise does not exist, because Arnold is also in prison. And how do you not know Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger is in your fucking prison right now?
I'm gonna stick up for this one. Okay, the prisoners are very aware of who Arnold Schwarzenegger is, because when he first breaks onto the screen, all the prisoners are about to beat the shit out of Stallone, or try to, because they're not aware of John Rambo. Okay, they're not aware that they're about to get their fucking faces beat inside out. But Schwarzenegger knows who he is. He's like, that's fucking Sylvester goddamn Stallone. That is John Rambo. That is Rocky Balboa. All these prisoners are going to get turned inside out. And he says, stop, back off. And they turn around and they see, fuck, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. And everybody backs off.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, but the prison guards, they don't know what the fuck's going on. They're like, damn, these dudes are significantly more attractive than any of the other prison extras we got for these films. I wonder what's going on with this.
Significantly more attractive. I will say Arnold looked great.
That goatee, he looks good with that goatee.
I'm not talking about the goatee. I'm just saying, like, for his age. And when he's like, what, 73 right now?
Yeah,
right?
So he had to be like in his 60s, yeah.
He's like in his 60s during this movie, and he just looked really good for his age.
Yeah, I mean, they both did, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, he's not as in good of shape as he used to be. Stallone is in the best shape of his life because he's on the juice. But,
yeah.
Arnold's not on the gas anymore, and so he's got a little gut to him or whatever, but just facially, Arnold looks really good for his age. I don't know if he's had plastic surgery or what, or if it's just the genes, but, it's whatever. It's good to see a movie actually take place or make use of Arnold's nationality. He starts speaking German, I believe. Like,
he's like doing
in the movie.
Yeah, he's doing like the fake like German prayers or whatever to distract the guards when he's in like solitary and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's. I don't know where I was going with that, but he's there.
It was a star-studded cast in this movie. I mean, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger. You got Sylvester Stallone. You got 50 fucking Cent.
Who it barely has anything to do. You have Vincent D'Onofrio.
Barely in the movie, but it somehow still has more to do than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just in briefer periods of time.
Yeah, you got Vincent D'Onofrio. And
Holly Flax.
Yeah.
From The Office. She's in there.
Also very little to do.
Oh, she has nothing. She's basically the whole movie. She just spends the whole movie like, I want to have sex with Sylvester Stallone. Like, that's like the whole thing. She's like, don't take this job. I want to have sex with you.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, as I said, I don't really have as much to say. It's very like by the numbers. I mean, it's entertaining.
It's all right. I do wish a couple of things. I wish this movie was made in 1986 at the height of Arnold and Stallone's prime.
Right, I would have even taken a 90s one. It came way too late.
I think that just like having those two together at the height of their powers and the way movies were made in that era, I think would have just made this like off the charts. Like probably like a 4 to 5 star movie. Like right there, just based on that, just based on giving it like a fuck, dude. Can you imagine if James Cameron directed this in like 1994?
It would have been absurd. Like absolutely absurd.
This would have been like one of the greatest. Like I would have been like, fuck, dude. Escape Plan. Holy, whoa.
Yeah. James Cameron, man, he knows how to shoot his boat movies. Spoiler alert: this takes place on a fucking boat.
Yeah.
I saw that. I don't know if I definitely knew that they were not like anywhere close to like solid land. I was like, they're either on an island or on a fucking ship because there's no way.
He explained, okay, that they were like only slightly north of the equator, which led to like calm waters. Okay, But I'm still calling bullshit here. I'm like, listen, I don't care how fucking calm the waters are. There's no way that you're in the fucking ocean and you're not going to feel a little bit of a rock on the ship and be like, man, kind of feels like we're on a boat.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. There's not going to be a single guy in there that's getting seasick. There's just no. That's not a thing.
Yeah. The only other thing I could think of is it's either they could have gone the full sci-fi route and Stallone, when he breaks out of the thing to see where the fuck they are, they're just in the middle of fucking space.
So at the beginning of the movie, when you kind of think like, oh, Stallone's just a prisoner, before the reveal comes that he's like an escape artist.
Right. Houdini of sorts, they say.
They place him in a very what I thought was a very kind of unique solitary confinement cell that had like no roof. It was just
it was like exposed to the outside,
like a cage, like exposed to the elements. Do they actually make cells like that?
I'm not sure.
It had no bed. It had nothing. It was just
a chair in the middle of the room. Yeah.
It was just a bit. Well, did it even have a chair? Because he was just sitting Indian style in the middle of the floor.
Was it any? He might not have had a chair. I thought he had a chair, but
it was just like no furniture whatsoever. Just like a big concrete room with like a cage on top so that you could see the sky. What if there was a thunderstorm?
I would assume there's some sort of closing mechanism. You can't just let him fucking drown in there. Or you could. I mean, fucking the prism system's fucked. I mean, you could. I mean, I don't fucking know.
There's a lot of things about the main prison that I'll want to comment on in a minute. But that first prison, and then secondly, okay, the way Stallone escaped from the first prison is that he took laminate, he peeled laminate off of a milk carton,
his chocolate
and
milk,
placed it on top of the keypad, okay, where you punch the code in to open the cell, so that he could get the code. How the fuck would you not notice the laminate on the keypad, dude?
It's very easy to notice a thin layer of plastic over the cold metal buttons you would have been touching for years if you've been working at this prison. And all of a sudden it feels like plastic out of nowhere.
Like, I would instantly notice, like, oh, this feels a little weird. Oh, there's a fucking piece of plastic on it. That's weird. And then I would put the code in as per normal. Like, I probably wouldn't notice that it was like an attempt to escape, but I would notice that it was on there. But like, oh, that's strange.
You're like, oh, this is just COVID-19 protocols. They can't have us touching the buttons. They did that to all of our shit at work.
Yeah, I guess during COVID time, maybe I wouldn't question it.
But this was 2013.
In 2013,
there's no reason for the plastic.
I would be like, this is weird, and I would take it off. It's because, like, when you get, like, your new electronics and stuff, right, and it's always got the plastic cover over, like, the buttons and the screen and everything like that, and, like, you can't press the buttons without, there's a noticeable difference.
Not to some people. I will say that working with people's fucking cell phones, a lot of fucking people have come into the store like, oh, my fucking screen's broken, it's not letting me hit the button or whatever, and they literally still have the fucking sticker with a fake home screen in front of it. But that's old people, so I don't know what the fuck this prison guard, he's a fucking prison guard, he probably has like, I don't know, he's probably like a high school dropout or something, I would assume.
Oh my god. So, we move on to the main prison, okay? And so every fucking day, Schwarzenegger and Stallone are allowed to communicate and exchange items and set up their plans that Stallone is going to execute by himself and Arnold's just going to follow. Like, God.
I was surprised by the amount...
Isn't it just bad and lazy writing that they just couldn't come up with anything for him to fucking do?
I mean, I guess
aside from like get his ass kicked or kick someone's ass just to, get small items for Stallone.
right. I don't know. I mean, maybe there was some behind the scenes like politicking involved. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Stallone still is technically top billed. I mean, he's the star of the fucking thing. I mean, I don't know.
Is he top billed though? I'm looking at the poster right now, and it's them standing right next to each other. Stallone, Schwarzenegger, escape plan. Yes, he gets the majority of the movie. Stallone does, but does he really have top billing over Arnold? I think that their billing is like equal.
I don't know. It could be. But yeah, I agree. Like, they could have given him something better to do. I was surprised by this big fucking high security prison, how much fucking free time they let the prisoners fucking have to dick around.
That's what that was the point that I was trying to get to. This big high security prison, they're spending millions of dollars to make sure that it's totally inescapable. It's a private prison. It's not government funded. It's 1,200 million % illegal.
Oh, yes.
It's revealed near the end of the movie. Everything about this prison is illegal. Like, I'm not even sure if half the prisoners in there are actual criminals. They're just people that are just, like, people have paid money. It's kind of like Old Boy. They've paid money to have
people
these
disappear.
people put away.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay. Why? And that being said, you don't have to follow any federal guidelines. Why are you feeding these people? Why are you giving them recess every day?
Exactly.
Why are you even talking to them? You know what I mean? Like
if it's that big of a deal, they should stay in their fucking locked glass cages the whole time. Like,
yeah,
you rarely see them in
You don't
there.
want to starve everybody else. Okay, just make food and bring it to their cage and give it to them. And they just have to stay in the cage for the rest of their fucking life. That's how I would run my illegal prison. If you want the shit to be their whole goal in the whole movie is like, my prison is inescapable. Well, no, brother, you're giving everybody the fucking a million chances to think of something. I would just feel like you're in a glass box. That's where you're spending the rest of your life. You're never fucking coming out. This prison is inescapable. Boom! I've solved the problem. Give me millions of fucking dollars, and no one's ever going to find out.
The very first experience we have with these prisoners and the prison guards or whatever, they literally just straight up murder someone and throw him out of, like, a fucking plane or a bus or whatever they're doing. So I don't even know what the purpose of this prison is. Like, they could just be elaborate murderers. Like, I don't understand why you would go through all that. Like, who is funding this? Like, what is the purpose of this prison?
Well, like I said, the purpose of the prison is that high-paying clients are paying the people that are running the prison
just fucking kill them then. Why do you have a prison?
I don't know, buddy. There's a similar concept in Old Boy, where like you've seen the Spike Lee version, right?
I've seen the Korean version. I haven't seen the American one, though.
Oh, the American one's actually decent. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that it's better than the Korean version. But
I remember you told me it still goes there.
It still goes. 100% still goes there. So, but in that movie, right? It's the same thing. It's not like a inescapable prison or anything like that. They don't hype that up or anything. But it's a private prison that high-paying clients will pay to make, have you imprison people for a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? So in Old Boy, the main character, he's imprisoned for 10 years. The guy that's having him in prison wants him in prison for 10 years. He pays for the whole thing. Okay? So, I mean, this is kind of like the same thing. I'm just saying that even though Old Boy is a better movie, so it's probably easier to suspend your disbelief for.
But, like, with this, it's not like, oh, we're putting Arnold away for 10 years or whatever. Like, the intention of this prison is you're there for life. Because, like, if you get fucking out, like, I don't know, you're not getting out of it. Unless you're Arnold
We
Schwarzenegger.
don't know if people are allowed to leave. Like, we don't. It's never. I don't know if it's ever elaborated on, like, to make them disappear for a certain period of time, because it's insinuated that the director will let people out if they work with him. Like, he tells Stallone, like, hey, if you sell out Arnold, I'll let you out.
Right.
So, I mean,
But he
maybe
could have
some
just been
people.
bullshitting him.
I mean, he could have been, but we never get to that point to actually find out, because Stallone's actually bullshitting him the entire time.
Yeah. And come to find out, Arnold was bullshitting everyone the entire fucking time.
Yeah, the one thing they give Arnold to do is that he's just like big swerve at the end.
He's the actual fucking escape artist guy.
Which, again, if he is, couldn't give him something else to do?
I guess not.
Like, I don't know. Arnold couldn't, like, freaking, like, crawl through, like, an air duct or something, or, like...
Just anything, man. Besides standing around, yeah.
And at the end of the movie, it's just so goddamn, like... For some reason, they end up getting that, like, Muslim guy with them. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a part of their party now for some reason. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? It's not even like they got, like, fucking Jason Statham or something to come with them.
Right, yeah, it wasn't like an actual, like named actor.
It was just some no-name fucking guy who's now suddenly on even ground with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester fucking Stallone. Okay, like, you couldn't even get fucking Terry Crews? You know what I mean? Like...
Right, just like anyone of name value, yeah, there's just, like, a guy.
Is Carl Weathers still alive? They just got goddamn Carl Weathers with them. He was in Predator and he was in Rocky. Like, boom, there's the connection there.
Yeah, the trifecta, yeah.
You know what I mean? And he dies in both of those movies, so he could have been perfect for that role.
Because he dies in this, yeah.
He just would have died. So, I mean, whatever. So you got this guy, but I didn't like at the end where it was like, all right, Stallone is leading the pack here, and, like, Arnold and this Indian guy are, like, fucking following behind like little bitches, like, in the back. Right. And, like, anytime something happens, like, Arnold's like, oh, Stallone, what do we do? You know what I mean? Like, oh, what's going on? I didn't like how fucking, at the end, they just kind of threw out, like, nothing they did was really, like, clever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they tried to be clever a couple times with we're popping the bolts out of the fucking flooring and shit here and stuff. I wish they would have come up with more, like, clever, like, smart things to do to, like, kind of, like, do on their escape plan. You know what I mean?
It is the name of the film, yeah.
But their escape plan at the end of the movie was literally, all right, cause a distraction.
We're going to get out of here.
And while there's a riot, we're going to break out.
Yeah.
That's literally every fucking escape plan in every prison escape movie ever.
That's what I mean. I mean, the film was good. I do recommend the film, but it's very by the numbers. Like, his escape plan when he's by himself in that first prison is more elaborate than this one.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of elaborate, but it's also kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I have it got kind of, what's the word? I'm sitting here literally trying to think of a word right now, for, like, cliche. I don't want to use that, but it got, God damn, I listened to a podcast and they used this word recently. I'm like, oh, that's a good word. I need to start using that. But it was kind of cliche. It got kind of is it contrite? So maybe cliche is not the right word. No, it's not contrite. Whatever. It got kind of, like, coincidental near the end, when it was like, oh, the power's shutting off, or like, oh, Stallone, you know, like, I thought that they turned the cameras off, and Stallone's like, oh, they're tracking us.
Yeah.
Literally, just so happens to be right next to
the fucking motion tracker. Yeah.
Like the motion tracker, and he rips it off, and just like, boom, problem solved. Like, come on, man. So what I want to talk about now is Escape Plan 2, Hades. Okay?
Is that what it's called? It's called
Yeah.
Hades?
Escape Plan 2, and the subtitle is Hades.
Huh.
Okay. Now, Sylvester Stallone has been on record in saying Stop or My Mom Will Shoot is the worst movie he's ever been in, right? And he regrets everything about it, okay? And I said, that's bullshit. And I believe that Stallone has probably said this exact thing, or a variation of this exact thing, about several movies that he's been in. And Escape Plan 2 Hades, in my research last night, turned out to be just one such movie. Stallone has opined that it was the most horribly produced film I have ever had the misfortune to be in.
I'm on the IMDb trivia right now. It says, despite being top billed, Sylvester Stallone is only in the film for approximately 15 minutes.
Wait, in the second movie?
Escape Plan 2, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the first one. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? He's on screen for like fucking an hour and a half in the first movie.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. That's Escape Plan. 3 out of 5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. I gave it 3 out of 5 as well. Again, like, as I said, there's not too much to say about it. I mean, it's very, very alright of a film.
Yeah, it was good. I wish it came out in 1987. 1987 through 1996. That is when this movie should have came out. And I'll also aim criticism. It does seem like a lot of Stallone's more recent movies have like this fucking issue where it's like so fucking dark, and it like takes itself so fucking seriously half the time. Like, am I the one that I'm just like, I want to see a Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger? When I see them, I want to see an action movie.
Yeah, I want it to
where
be fun
it's
and
like
crazy,
not like the fucking like Expendables one.
They're like, this film, like, anyone who goes into it like looking for like balls to the wall action is going to be very disappointed. It's a lot of talking, and when the action does happen, it's not like over the top. It's very grounded shooting and that kind of stuff.
At the end, when Arnold's on the fucking turret, it gets a little wacky.
Yeah.
And Stallone's hanging from the ladder, and he starts shooting the barrels.
Yeah.
And then he gets his one-liner. I can't remember what it is. It was fucking awful. I cringed while I was watching it. Another thing that I wrote down here is there's a lot of whispering in this movie. I actually had to rewind it a couple times because people just keep fucking whispering. And they talk really fast. Even the main antagonist, who he was kind of lame, but he like just whispered the whole movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a weird stylistic thing. Before we get out of here, Mortal Kombat trailer.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat trailer. I tagged you guys in it. What do you think?
I think that it's not going to be as good as the original Mortal Kombat movie.
Jesus Christ.
Nostalgia will carry
you're
the original Mortal Kombat movie for me for my entire life.
I know you're a big fan.
I saw that film in theaters.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of it.
A lot of people are, right?
I don't know, I guess.
I mean, I know that it's not a good movie. Like, I'm sure it's got a horrible score on Rotten Tomatoes. But, like, as far as I know, like, from fans of the game, which is what that movie was targeting, okay? For fans of the game, everybody that I've talked to were like, yeah, I fucking love that movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun movie.
There's a lot of fan backlash with this trailer. About as much as there is praise, there's also backlash. No Johnny Cage, from what we can tell.
I noticed that. And maybe it's just me because I haven't played Mortal Kombat in a long ass time. Who is the main guy? Who's that guy that's like at the beginning of the trailer that he's like doing all the police work and shit?
I think he's supposed to be Scorpion, right? Because then he wears like the yellow whatever.
Is that him? That's the same actor that's playing Scorpion?
I thought that's what was implied.
Is it?
I mean, I can go look it up. I'm not sure.
Oh, God, you're going to look at one of those fucking lists where it's like everything we know about the new Mortal Kombat trailer. Or like,
so there's Kano, Sonya, Scorpion. No, that's not the same guy as Scorpion.
Okay, who's the guy?
See, I can't even tell which one of these fucking dudes was the guy at the beginning of the trailer. I don't fucking know, dude. None of these...
If you know, let us know in the comments below. I couldn't figure out who the fuck that guy was supposed to be. No, like, in reference to the game, like, I know Jax, I know Sonya, you know what I mean? I know Sub-Zero, Scorpion.
Obviously, yeah.
Liu Kang. I saw Shang Tsung in there.
Kano's in there.
Kung Lao, I'm pretty sure I saw in there. Goro makes an appearance. You know what I mean? Raiden. I saw all those dudes. No Johnny Cage. And I don't know who the fuck the other guy was.
Someone's credited as Cole Young.
Cole. Yeah, that's what they called him in the trailer. Who is Cole Young?
I don't know. He must be new. I haven't heard of him.
I know Cole Younger. Who is Cole Young?
Cole Young, Mortal Kombat. That's what everyone's asking. Who is Cole Young?
They really had to fucking make an original character to be their main character?
Who is the... So in the arcade version, wasn't there like an error version and they created another ninja?
Isn't that the original Reptile?
No.
Or Smoke?
I forget what he was. But like he was basically like a fucking glitch on the arcade machine, but it became such like a cult thing they made it an actual character.
Huh. Well, listen. Here's my thing, okay? It's 2021. Okay? The main character of Mortal Kombat is Liu Kang. Okay? If you could get fucking Liu Kang to be your main character in a movie in 1993 or whenever the original Mortal Kombat movie came out.
Ermac. Yeah, it was like a fucking glitch when you went to play as Scorpion, and then they made it another character. So maybe that's who the fuck...
Ermac, that's Maker spelled backwards, right?
Yeah. But he's like this red ninja guy.
Or wait, no, that would be Remac.
Yeah.
Well... The goddamn... If you could make an Asian protagonist for a blockbuster movie in the 90s, you could do it again in 2021, okay? So, it is kind of annoying that they had to fucking create a new original white man character to be the protagonist for Mortal Kombat. And you did that, you created a new character, and you don't even have fucking Johnny Cage in your movie. If you needed a white man to be your protagonist for the movie,
Johnny Cage is right there.
Be Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage is right there.
Is he too goofy to be the main character? I think it's perfect because then he could just have fucking one-liners when he beats everyone's ass in the whole movie.
Who would you be able to get to play Johnny Cage though? Besides like
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He's too fucking old, even though he was the basis of the fucking original character. But
he can still do the splits, brother.
yeah.
I don't know. Who would you get to play Johnny Cage?
I really don't know. That's why I was asking you. I can't think of it. You'd have to get like a no-name guy. Fucking Matt Riddle.
No. He can't act. Have you watched Monday Night Raw? Jesus. Well, I mean, I think that really all you need is just like a handsome young actor. Let's see here. Fuck it, just get goddamn get Robert Pattinson to fucking play Johnny Cage. Who fucking cares anymore?
Yeah. It's whatever.
It would be a fun role for him to be like kind of come out of his like his typecast like kind of brooding character shell, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he went from being Twilight to going the exact opposite, and he has to be in all these like super serious whatever. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to see him in something like fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the Batman will be fun, but he's still going to be like
he's
that
very
fucking,
serious,
like,
stoic,
quiet, serious, brooding character. So, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not that excited for Mortal Kombat, but
it's one I would see with the boys. I don't know if I'd seek it out for myself. I don't know. Depends on the vibe.
All right, buddy. Well, I think that we've beat this fucking horse to death.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week. Gotta figure
Not
out.
that bad this week.
Not that bad, no. We gotta figure out what we're doing for next week's show. It's the final episode of the Stallone month, so we gotta go out with a bang. So we'll figure out what we're gonna be watching. And yeah, if you guys are listening this long, make sure you're subscribing to the show, all that good shit. And yeah, I don't know, are we riding off into the sunset, or you got anything else to say, or we out?
No, I told you the fucking horse is dead. We fucking beat it half to death.
Alright, Buddy the Bird is signing out. Bye!
I'll catch your ass down the road.